Your home is like a sanctuary. So you want to make sure that the spirit of that home is one that you can work well with and one that is conducive to your spiritual needs and your physical needs as well. So what I want to talk about today in this video is the spirit of your home and how you can work with it and tune into it to not only help you make decisions about where you're going to live, but also to help you really build a home that is a beautiful place to live. But before I jump into that, hi, I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. If you're new to the channel and you want to become a witch or a Wiccan, or you just want to know more about it, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. You've probably been into homes before where the energy just isn't good. There's something off. You may put it down to the people perhaps who have lived there in the past or the people who are living there, and just think that it's them. And it probably is mostly them because our objects absorb our energy. So a home will absorb the energy of the people in it and around it. So when you go into a home, if you are looking to buy or rent, it's really important for you to really tune into the energy of that home, to understand who's living there now, who's lived there in the past if you can, so that you know that the energy that this place is absorbed is going to be energy that is conducive to your harmony and your spiritual growth. So you're not going to want to choose to live in a home that has had some really negative activity going on in it. If there are spirits living in the home too, you want to be able to make sure that they're not going to be too mischievous or malefic in any way, and then also learn how you can work with them to have them help protect your home and also to help you in your spellcraft, because witches work with spirits. We have always worked with spirits, and it's important to know which spirits you should be working with and which ones you probably shouldn't be working with, because not all spirits have your best interests at heart. And there are spirits that are in houses. We know that there are haunted houses. And they're the sort of things, the spirits you want to avoid. You don't really want to be go getting involved with those spirits unless you're really into taking risks. Most spirits though, in a home that is a very, very positive home, that has had people living in it who are pretty neutral or pretty positive, will generally pretty okay spirits. Otherwise those people probably wouldn't have lived there for so long. So working with your house spirit. If you're working with the energy of the home, when you first move into a home, you want to cleanse it. You want to get rid of any of the other human energy that may have been absorbed into the home. You want to neutralize it so that, like any object that you're working with for your magical work, you want to make sure that it's clean and clear. And you're basically consecrating your home as your sacred space, because it is your sacred space. And this goes for rooms. So if you're renting a room, if you're living in a share house situation, then cleanse your room. You want that room to be your sacred space, even if it is just a bedroom, even if it's the size of a closet, you still want that to be your sacred space. But when you are renting a space with other people, it's really important to really tune into the energy of those other people, and the home, the energy of the home will actually help you do that. When you go into a home for the first time, you may want to ask the house spirit to give you a little bit of information about the energy. You may want to say hello to it, introduce yourself to it, and you can do that psychically. You don't have to be saying, oh, hello house, how are you? Especially if you're going in to rent and you're being interviewed, or you're doing an inspection with a real estate agent to buy. You don't want people thinking you're totally off with the pixies, unless there are other magical folk too who understand the pixies. You want to be discreet, then you can certainly do this all telepathically, by just tuning into the energy of the home and just seeing what sort of response you get. Now, if you are in tune with the different spirits, you may also sense the spirits that may actually be living in the home too. And throughout folklore and mythology, there are countless stories of house spirits. And they're generally pretty okay beings to live with. They don't get up to too much mischief unless you maybe offend them. But generally they're there to, get on with life and enjoy themselves the same as you are. And as witches, of course, we are totally into cooperating with the spirit world and getting the spirit world to be able to help us and work with us so that we can get on with creating the life that we want to create. And so witches will often leave out offerings, food offerings, either once a month, once a week, for the spirits of the land that they're on. So that'll be spirits outside as well as the spirit of the house, if you have a spirit of the house. When you're doing your daily offerings, which I thoroughly recommend that you do, and if any of you have watched or have done my 5-day course, The Ultimate Guide to Starting a Wiccan Practice That Works, I do talk about offerings and show you how to do offerings at the end of your daily practice. You can include your house spirits in that offering. So you're getting in good with them and you're basically appeasing them. You're giving them offerings. It's a gesture of giving. It is some being neighborly, and it is a way of being able to have goodwill with the individual spirits that are in and around your home. And this includes appeasing any spirits that may be more mischievous as well. You want to appease them. You want everything to be on your side. So that is a way of doing it. It is simply keeping the peace. And then when you've worked a lot with these spirits by including them in your offerings, and you're doing spells for your home, so maybe you're doing something, you may want to do some renovating in your home and you're wanting to attract the right business people to come and do the renovations, then you can work with your house spirit or your house spirits to get the right person, basically. You can work with house spirits to help bring things to you in your home. So there's all ways that you can actually work together to have a happy home. And if people are happy in the home, then the spirits are generally pretty happy in the home as well. Unless, of course, as I said, they're spirits of a more malevolent, in which case that would be an entirely different video. Really tap into the energy of where you're living right now. What is the spirit of your home? What type of energy does it have? The home itself. In paganism, a lot of us are animists, so we believe that the objects that we surround ourselves with actually do imbue some type of a consciousness. And when you get a lot of groups of people together, particularly like organizations, even small groups of people, these sort of thought forms, energetic consciousness start to form called egregores, and they take on an energy of their own as well. So tuning into these energies is really important as a witch, because you want to know how to work with these spirits. If you work for a corporation, for example, your corporation is going to have an egregore. If you want to keep your job, if you want to work your way up the ladder, then tune into that egregore. See how you can work with it. See how you can get on its good side, so to speak, and have it help you work your way up the ladder if that's what you're wanting to do. It's the same for a home. It's going to take on energy of the people who live in it. So there will be like an egregore belonging to a home if people have lived there for a longish period of time. So you're going to be entering into an environment where there's already sort of a spirit set up, and you're going to need to negotiate whether you want to get involved in that or whether you actually want to go somewhere else to live, basically. If you decide that you really do like a space and the energy's good, and you do know that there's spirits there, like there may be brownies or house goblins or whatever name you want to give them, then do give them some offerings when you're doing your daily practice, and learn how to work with them, because they will help you if you are civil to them. And when you tune into the energy of your home and you're wanting to set your home up or your room up, tune into the energy of it to know where to put things. If you're like me, you probably I like to change things around a lot, so I do not like my space being the same all the time. I do like to move things around frequently, probably at least 2 or 3 times a year. I like to move stuff around. Just make sure that when you're doing that, it really is getting harmony of energy in the space. Tune into your space. What type of spirit does it have? What sort of energy does it have? Spend some time tuning into it. And if things sometimes do go bump in the night for no obvious reason, like if you wake up the next day and something's fallen over and you really cannot see how it could have fallen over, like maybe it could have been a bit of vibration, If you live somewhere where you get earth tremors, it may have been that. But sometimes things happen and you just don't know, how could that have fallen? Surely the vibration of a truck going down the main street wouldn't have been enough to have that fall. Like, sometimes they do. That's probably your house spirit, and you may want to maybe give it an offering or something, because it may be indicating to you either that something's wrong, so it might be warning you or something, or you may have offended it somehow. Okay, so tune into those sorts of things. They don't happen that often, but sometimes they do. As witches, it's not so much about getting rid of spirits, unless they're really, really nasty. It's more about how do we work together and cooperate, because we have to live in this universe with all beings, because we're all part of this. And like our environment, we live in an ecosystem where there are snakes and spiders, and there are also fluffy bunny rabbits and cute creatures. We really do have to learn how to work with all of these beings in a way that is actually harmonious. So if you like that video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, don't forget to subscribe, and if you haven't watched or downloaded that 5-day course, The Ultimate Guide to Starting a Wiccan Practice That Works, the link to that is in the description field below this video. I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. I'll see you on the next video. Blessed be.